Hey guys, Shadow here, and welcome back to...
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, however did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
Alright, now I can finally do the intro. Hey guys, Shadow here, and welcome back to Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishments. So we're headed over to the Kew Gardens. Let's be on our way, shall we? I get a silver fork, really? See how many we're gonna meet. 4. Oh, there's only look like there's only one case left after this. Either that or it's all a lie. But I'm guessing there's only one more case left after this. This is a really long ride. There we go.
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
Such dramatic music. Yes, of course. End of the music.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer. And without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favor for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. And that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
Intriguing. Perhaps it was an inside job.
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, He died here just 2 days ago.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The two of you were good friends?
He was my father.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house?
Holmes?
Yes, just here, near the door to the colonial collection. He suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
It's
The
interesting.
plants were here. All of them were stolen.
Do not touch.
I'm guessing there's at least one plant that could make it look like there was a heart attack rather than actually being a heart attack.
Here is a list of the stolen plants.
Find the stolen plants, examine the place. So,
According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found dead. Soil. It should have come from a flower pot. The soil on the side of this flower shelf is the same as that on the ground. Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here.
okay then.
The traces are thinner in some places. These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though someone was dragging their feet. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here.
The door was smashed.
The door was smashed at shoulder height. This door handle is new. It was recently changed.
Even though the door wasn't forced, huh?
The esconsum was breached near the handle. The door was forced from the inside of the Colonial Collection Room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to inspect the Colonial Collection Room.
This pot was broken fairly recently. A flower pot recently fell down from these shelves and was misplaced.
So that should be down there then, right? Well, this looks dangerous as shit.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building. Very strange. Half of the Colonial Collection is absent. The smell is strong. It is a detergent. This broken fragment was the result of a heavy blow.
Really?
A fragment of marble, most likely chipped from a statue or sculpture. These windows were perfectly cleaned. Part of this greenhouse was emptied and thoroughly cleaned.
Why?
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
There's gonna be a reason for that to be open later, I think. During an experiment.
These plants come from all the territories of the British Empire.
Anything else I'm missing in here? Glass is cleaned. I don't see anything else that I need to examine. Oh,
This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it.
is that blood?
Blood. Someone fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound. All the clues around here are quite suspicious. I need my imagination to make sense of it all. No, it wasn't like that.
Determine the correct sequence of events that based on the details you've gathered. Oh. What? Why the hell did I have to do that? It made perfect sense that it would be like that way already.
This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked. Was it an accident, or a murder then, I wonder?
It was a murder. Murder most foul. From autopsy on Montague Dunn, the death is suspicious. Why had he forced the door of the Colonial Collection Room? Why had someone cleaned and emptied the room? Was it a trap or a simple accident? It was a trap. Makes sense. Scotland Yard to the morgue. I still gotta do that. Actually, I probably should have went to Baker Street first and done that. It would make more sense. Look for some kind of toxin.
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then.
Well, guess we're going to the... What's that?
This watch is of great value.
Club card.
A membership card for the London Crest Club.
The hell is that?
A beautiful feather pen of a good make.
Doesn't look like a feather pen. There's no feather on it. To Mr. F. Wayne, director of Wayne and Sons Printing Company. My friend, your posters for the great exhibition at Why can't it exhibit exhibition? Jesus. At Kew Gardens are very beautiful, but it is surely unnecessary to mention all of the staff. My name alone will be sufficient. Montague Dunn. Really? That's kind of rude.
Locked.
Wonder if I ever get to go in there. What's this one? Oh, that's staff. Lestrade's the only one that has his own office. This should be.
First of all, let us carry out an external examination. No redness, stings, or bruises.
Okay.
There is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse. The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal.
Okay.
The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma.
So perhaps he inhaled some kind of
Nothing suspicious here.
airborne toxin or something?
There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination. so that we can proceed with the autopsy. Now, let us examine the internal organs.
This is gonna be fun. Is he seriously whistling? Oh, that's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It's oddly... I don't even know how to explain that. There's no bones, like where the ribs would be. Just... It looks like a fake...
The lungs are congested and edematous.
What's
The
this?
tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant.
Okay, that makes sense.
The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs. The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs.
So it was definitely something that he inhaled, it seems like.
The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction.
No.
The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs.
As I was saying, it looks like a, like, what do you...
The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs.
I was going to say a scientific dummy, but I don't know if that's the correct term for it.
There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death.
He breakfasted? I've never heard that term before.
My suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean
Yes, it is murder.
we should inform Lestrade?
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No, we also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No, a few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson. It is time now to open the doors.
Even those in the staff building. I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little.
Well, that's nefarious. Dunn was poisoned after being trapped in the Colonial Collection room by the killer. Montague Dunn was affected by inhaling a virulent vegetal poison. So, I read that. Find the stolen plants. Find the plant that was used to kill Montague Dunn. Inspect Kew Garden staff buildings and gather information on Montague Dunn. Find out who killed Montague Dunn. So first, go to Baker Street and find out what kind of plants were in the Colonial Collection room. And I'm guessing that somebody locked the door and pumped. They cleaned out that section and removed everything and put the poisonous plant in maybe the air duct or something. Let's see. Poisons and toxins, runes, marks and symbols. I need the encyclopedia, I believe. Biology, history, medicine, botany. Exotic plants. These plants have a certain toxicity in common, more or less variable. Denania, kind of... all those names. Only the first three can be dangerous to humans, particularly Florum diabolica, but only under very specific conditions. The plant should react to a process of aggression against which it will issue deadly spores. Interesting.
Here it is.
Is he spying on that lady over there? God damn it, Watson. Stop your spying. It's rude. Shouldn't be doing that. Theft and murder. The killer may be those who stole the exotic plants, including the deadly species, from the last exhibition at Kew Gardens. So... the only one that seems to have gained by his death is the new director. Of the... yes, this guy, I think. Martin Hamish. Inexpensive glasses. So he's short-sighted. Dirty collar. Unmarried. Gardener's hands.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, oh, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression. Great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
And what does that mean?
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say? He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That
And...
he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Interesting.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Right then. What's that over there? Just rocks surrounding the tree. Okay. I thought there was something lying next to it, but there wasn't.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Consumed by grief. Shaving cut. Clean hands.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only. For I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
You're following in your father's footsteps, then. That is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
That's good.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah. At the moment, I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens. And I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew Gardens.
What
My
now?
father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? Well, that is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
It's true.
House.
It's true that he was taking the credit for himself.
A task list for Albert, compiled by Martin Hamish. Sweep out the palm house, scrub the toilets, clean the storage shed tools.
Do I get that in my... It's interesting that he says that he is. Following 3 plants were proven lethal to humans. Those 3. Florum and Diabolica. I'm just gonna completely obliterate those names, so I'm not gonna try. The realization of the toxin process is fairly difficult, for it requires a peculiar chemical fertilizer, natural stimulation, and nutrition. The caterpillars should work. Caterpillars. There's 2 left. Find the stolen plants. Find the plant that was used to kill. Inspect Hugo and staff building. Find out who killed Monica Dunn. Miss Margaret White. The seed house. What's this? Okay then. So apparently I've investigated everything in here. Get out of my way. Listen. This sounds like there's an animal in here or something. It's a cool rock. Apparently none of these plants are important. What's
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Which does make sense.
According to this,
Yes.
water lily greenhouse.
Interesting. Oh. Well, I was already in here. I didn't know this was a water lily greenhouse, though. Why would they steal? What the hell? It's interesting. They have water boxes around the trees. I guess that's what you'd call them. Why are the windows cleaned so much, though? Everything was removed. The windows were cleaned. Very interesting.
According to this,
Dry tropics conditions.
dry tropics.
Go. This is really cool. What's this?
These flower pots are beautiful. They are intended to be used for exhibition purposes.
Really?
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Really? Exhibition purposes, and they're not from Kew Gardens.
Dry.
Just gonna repeat it. Get out of the way, Watson. So, what's his face?
There is a smell of burning.
Broken pot.
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Gas mask.
A protective mask. Someone set it alight, but it did not burn. The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned. A door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the Colonial Collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material.
Huh. So, somebody's trying to
The remains of a picture frame.
cover up the murder by destroying evidence in the fire.
A broom handle was half burned.
So, the question is, who set the... Shut up, dog! Who set the fire? Because they're destroying the evidence. The gas mask. So, the gas mask must have been used to enter the Colonial Collection room and piss off the plant.
Look, Holmes, this charming lady must be Miss White. She's entering the seed house.
Yeah.
Colonial Collection. Water lily greenhouse. Dry tropics. Ventilation system.
Going to visit that.
Seed house. Nursery. Director's office, cloakroom, and laboratory.
Laboratory, huh?
Farmhouse.
Where's this?
Reserve.
That must be the storage room then. That the kid's responsible for. It must be. Oh,
A map of Kew Gardens.
there we go. Wait, what? So let's go check out this ventilation system. And open the wicket.
A water tank.
Quite the noisemaker too.
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
Okay then. would think it would regulate the temperature of every building, would it not? Out of the way.
Seed house.
Also, I'm way over time, so we'll enter the seed house in the next episode and talk to Miss White. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, see you later.